Hi, I'm Marianne Binetti, and I'm on my mostly shaded patio here where I've chosen to use mostly sunset colors. That means all these flowers from the begonias to the mimetias that are orange, yellow, red, just the colors of a sunset. Now, I can go through and talk about these flowers in a different video, but today I want to talk to you about planting a bright orange container garden. So orange is considered sometimes a more difficult color to work with, but on my patio I have orange cushions and bright red rugs and things that are really warm colors. So a very easy way, I'm going to teach you how to choose colors for a brightly colored container. Now, first of all, this container is tall and narrow. I'm only using annuals. Annuals are plants that die at the end of the summer. I don't need all this to be filled with potting soil. Since if I was going to be planting a shrub, then of course I'd have potting soil the entire way. So one tip that I like to do is take these plastic containers and I recycle them, simply scratching them up a little bit and filling. I would say I only need about 12 inches of potting soil for these annuals in this pot, so I'm going to use a lot of these pots. Anything plastic, fill them in there, and then I will be adding the potting soil. So what I choose to do is add the potting soil but I leave about 6 inches so I can arrange the plants. See how I like it. First of all, where's the front of the container going to be? Let's say right here where you see is the front of the container. Therefore, the tallest plants will go in the back of the container because this pot will be viewed mostly from one side. So I'm going to start out by choosing my tallest plant, and this is a bright red Salvia. So since this is going to be in the back, I look for other plants that will be going around it. And I'm going to look for something that has a little bit of that red color in it. And I have found this amazing Coleus plant. So I'm going to see how beautiful this looks with the orange of the container. But with the Coleus, I also see it has some orange. And so I found a plant with some orange in it. And this is a Mistral Begonia, a double-flowered one, and that will go in the very, very front. So I've got my three sizes, a little bit of a trailing orange, Mistral Begonia, a Coleus in the middle, and then the Salvia in the back. And then I'll just fill in on the sides with my other plants. So I have so much dark foliage here, but I do see there's a little bit, if you look at the buds of that begonia, there's a little bit of a golden color as the buds come out. And that inspired me when I saw this gorgeous begonia with the yellow leaves. It's called Begonia Canary wings. So if I put that right next to the Coleus, it's going to look great because it's a solid color yellow, which helps the variegation of the Coleus stands out. And then just to bring in more red, I will use this other Mistral Begonia to the side like that. So that's kind of my plan that I think up before I even start the planting. And then as I go along, I'll probably change things a little bit. So I picked out my tall, I picked out my cascading plants. I'm going to add a couple more of these plastic containers here. Great way to recycle. This also keeps the pots more lightweight. I'm going to add the potting soil. Now here's a tip. This potting soil that I just used does not have added fertilizer in it. It is just plain potting soil. So I'm going to make sure that I use Osmocote, slow release plant food, and I'm going to fill a whole capful here. Because by reading the back of the container, it says 1 capful for a 2-gallon pot. This is more than a 2-gallon pot, but remember I filled over half of it with those plastic containers. So I've got about enough soil as a 2-gallon pot. I'm going to add fertilizer here. And now I can go ahead and start arranging my plant material. Now when a plant is very root bound like this, I'm going to loosen those roots up just a little bit so they'll go out a little bit. And I'm going to group these salvias together in the back of the container, so they're going to look like one large plant. Now Coleus, a tip for them is that they definitely do not like cold nights. So those roots get a little bit of roughing up. So I would not notice how the plant is higher on this side, lower on this side. Here's the front of my container, the low side. It's going to go towards the front. So I would not put Coleus outdoors until all danger of frost is past, and preferably even when the nights are above 55 degrees. Okay, can I fit more plants in here? I want it to look really cool. Yes. Let's go wild. This is a Lantana. Usually, especially in warm climates, this is used as a ground cover. But in the Pacific Northwest where I live, in cool summer areas, it doesn't grow that crazy. So I'm going to use it as a spiller towards the front of the pot, because I like the color. And then one more really adventurous plant. This is a fuchsia called Autumnale. It has this beautiful foliage that's gold with red. And I want this to be a hanging plant as well, right here at the edge of the pot. So you can see, and this container is going to get protection from the hot afternoon sun, but tons of color, explosion of color in these sunset shades. So here we have it, an orange pot planted with really warm sunset colors. This has been Marianne Binetti with easy answers for great gardens.
If you enjoyed these gardening tips, subscribe to our channel so you can get updates on new videos and stay in the know about all things gardening. Click the red subscribe button below. See the description below for more information about how to connect with us on PlantersPlace.com, Facebook, and Instagram.